Today we're going to be doing a 1-year follow-up to the CR Spotless review that I did about a year ago. If you're not familiar with what these are, these will ensure that you don't get any white spots left on your vehicle after you're done washing it. I know a lot of times people think that it's soap that leaves the spots on your vehicles. It's not soap. It's 9 times out of 10 it's minerals that come out of your tap water. By using a spot-free system like this, it will remove all the minerals so you don't even need to dry your vehicle when you're done. My goal here today, we'll briefly talk about how many times I was able to wash my vehicles with a set of this resin. Then I'll also explain to you on how you can tell with one of these TDS monitors if one of these systems will work with the water that you have at your house. To get started here, I get asked this question all the time: how many car washes am I going to get out of that resin before I need to replace it? If you're not familiar with this resin, it can be fairly expensive. It's between $100 and $150 to replace those. Obviously, if you only get a handful of car washes out of a set of resin, it's not practical. It's almost cheaper just to go and have your car washed at a car wash. With that said, how many car washes you're going to get at your house really depends on how many minerals are in your water, and I'll show you here in a minute on how you can determine that. But for me, this set here that I bought last year, it's going on about 16 months, I was able to wash my cars a total of 25 times, and I'm still only showing 2 on that TDS monitor, which is pretty impressive considering a car wash anywhere costs between $10 to $15. So if you figure on average $12 a car wash, 25 car washes, I've already saved myself $300 by not taking to a car wash. With that said, this system costs around $400, so you do it for a couple years, the system's already paid for itself and you can use it for many years. All you have to do is replace that resin. The second question I get asked a lot is, how do you store this? In the winter is probably the most important, because obviously if there's water in there, you do not want that to freeze. So at the end of the year, when the winter's coming around, they include this wrench that you're going to put in here, and you're going to twist these off and you're going to flip those blue containers over upside down. I want to be clear, it probably takes an entire day for that to completely drain out of there. You'll be surprised on how much water is actually going to come out of there. It's very important to drain that completely. So once you remove both of those blue canisters down here with the included wrench, flip it over upside down, come back the next day when it's completely drained out, then simply thread them back on there, and that's all you have to do from a storage standpoint in the winter. The other aspect when you're storing this is if you're going to be using it regularly. As you can see here, I don't have it hooked up permanently to a hose. It's just over here, and I'll hook it up, and then when I'm done, when I release the connections, a lot of the pressure will come out of there. If you permanently hook this up, whether on your wall or somewhere else where it's always going to have some pressure that came from the hose, make sure you drain and relieve that pressure out of the hose. I have saw some reviews where those canisters in the bottom there exploded. I'm guessing it's because of humidity, heat, expand, contract, etc. there with the pressure in there. So just make sure when you're done with that, relieve the pressure in there, and you'll have no problems with any of these exploding. Moving on to figuring out if one of these will work at your home, you have to first understand TDS, and TDS stands for Total Dissolved Solids, and this is measured by ppm, which is parts per million. And what that means is, from a good car wash standpoint, if you have a number 50 ppm of TDS or less, that's considered a good car wash for a spot-free system. Good drinking water is between 50 to 150. In the average US household, tap water is 350. Obviously, if you use it at 350 and you dump some water on your vehicle, you're going to get white spots all over the place, because that's just minerals in your water drying on there. By using this, it should remove all that. Now, the one other important thing of TDS, it measures how many dissolved ions in your water, but it doesn't necessarily tell you what kind of minerals or contaminants are in your water. So based on well water, tap water, etc. there, that might have a determining factor on how many car washes you're going to get out of this based on what's in your water. Alright, so now that we understand what TDS is, let me show you on how you can determine how much TDS in your water at home. In order to do that, you're going to need to get one of these TDS monitors, and I'll put some links in the description on where you can get some of these. They're very cheap, they're around $5–10, but I highly recommend you get one of these and do this test before you go invest in this $400 system over here. The last thing you want to do is get this thing home, you're only able to get a handful of car washes out of one thing of resin because the minerals in your water are that bad. So do this test before to ensure that you're able to do this. What we'll do here, we'll have our regular tap water, then we'll fill this one up with the CR Spotless, then we'll also do a comparison of our bottled water just to kind of see where these all three fall into place in regard to TDS. Alright, so starting with our tap water, looks like we have a number roughly 217. We'll go ahead and clear it out. In our CR Spotless cup, you can see we're roughly at 4. Then we'll clear it out and we'll go over to our bottled water. And our bottled water is showing roughly 31. So as you can see, 25 car washes later, we're still showing 3 to 4 TDS on this, and that's very accurate with our monitor over here. And I'll give you a picture of that monitor as well. It was saying 3 before, so that 3 to 4 range, that's pretty good considering 25 car washes later. Alright, so hopefully this video helped you out if you're in the market to get one of these spot-free systems. Don't be discouraged on a handful of those reviews that you might see out there where people claim they only got 2 or 3 car washes out of one of these and then had to replace the resin. My guess, they didn't do the due diligence to see what their number was before they bought it. The last thing you want to do is just go buy one of these and find out after the fact versus spend the $5 and see if you're capable of getting one of these. If you're in that range of the 2 to 250, I'm confident you can get a lot of use out of this. As I mentioned there before, I have 25 car washes on this, and I'm pretty confident I'd probably get another 10 to 20 on this same resin before it'll get to the point where, you know, I potentially need to replace the resin, which based on that, after a year or two, the machine's paid for itself. Then going forward, you're looking at probably dollar car washes going forward versus 10 to 15 if you took it somewhere. So I really do like these, and my only regret, I didn't buy this thing many years ago. It really works that good. So hopefully this helped you out. If it did, please give me the thumbs up. If you're interested in more content like this, please hit that subscribe. But again, I hope this helped you out. Thanks for watching.